This week we're going to make an emoji keychain. You can make your keychain however you want to. Just request your packet on the link provided, and you will get your supplies. So let's get started. In your packet, you will receive a cardboard circle, a piece of black felt, red felt, white felt, yellow felt, a key ring, a claw clip, and you will also get a small sewing kit. Things that you may need are extra thread, and you'll definitely need a pair of scissors and maybe a pen or a Sharpie. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to leave your yellow felt folded over. You're going to take your circle, lay it on there, and you're going to draw on the outside of the circle. And you don't want it real dark. You just want to kind of give yourself some guidelines. And you don't want to go right up against the circle. You want to leave a little bit of edge because you're going to sew, and this is going to be about the size of your emoji. All right, and then here we're going to kind of draw out a rectangle. That's probably too small. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're just going to cut off this edge right there, and then we can make it as small as we want. So just forget that. We're just going to do this edge here. All right, now we're going to cut out, whoops, I don't know why I just did that. We're going to cut out one layer of this tab. We don't need but one. Okay, and then you're going to leave your yellow folded, and we are going to cut out 2 circles. You will also get batting inside of your packet, which I totally forgot. Yep, okay. So you can set that aside. All right, so now the fun part. You're gonna get to decide what kind of emoji you want to do. I want to do the heart eye emoji. So I'm gonna take my red felt, and I'm gonna cut it. And I'm going to do just like you did in grade school when you were cutting out your hearts with paper. And I'm going to cut out 2 hearts from my red felt. Let's see if that one's... If one is bigger than the other, you can always cut the largest one down to fit your smaller one, which I think is definitely going to be the case with this. Maybe not. Yep. If you want to fix, like, this heart is a little bit bigger. If you want to adjust that, you can. It's your project, so you can leave them however you want. Okay, so there is that. And then I think for my mouth, I don't know that I'll use the black at all, but I'm gonna use the white, and I'm gonna cut out a big smile. like a teeth grinning smile. And I'm just freehanding this. You can use your pen or you can use your Sharpie to draw what you're cutting out, but I'm gonna totally freehand all of this. Okay, way too big. Let's fold this and okay. Okay, that looks kind of like a a mask. I guess you actually could do a mask if you wanted to and do the band there. But when we get to sewing this, I will show you my idea for the teeth and how you want to do it. Okay, before we sew the piece together, what we are going to do is figure out how to open our sewing kit. And when I say that you may need extra good grief, thread, it's because there isn't that much thread in this case. And depending on what kind of details and stuff that you want to sew on here, you may actually need a little bit more thread. Okay, so I'm going to take, the good thing about these two is they're already threaded, which is pretty awesome. Okay. So when you're sewing your pieces on, the one thing you do not want to do is sew through both pieces. So we're going to remove this yellow circle, and I'm going to go ahead and dart the eyeballs on, or the eyes on. Dart just means you're just going to run a thread through it a couple of times and just to hold it on there. I'm not going to actually sew the whole heart on. You can if you want to. If you were doing eyes, you could cut out the white parts of the eyes and use the black to put the pupil in, and you would do the same thing. You would put that on with just like a couple of darts in there. And once again, if you wanted to go all the way around the heart, you could. Okay, once you get the one eye on there, you're gonna go back and do the other eye the same way. Okay, we're done with the red. I'm gonna set that aside. Now I'm gonna go with the black, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make the smile with the teeth. I think I'm gonna flatten this just a little bit. Okay. Now that that's flat, once again, I'm going to start from the back. And this time I'm going to do a knot in my thread. Before I didn't, just because I was going to tie it, but I'm not sure where my thread's going to meet, so I definitely don't want this to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little knot in there. I'm going to double it because this is really thin thread. And this would probably be better done with some embroidery thread, but I don't have embroidery thread, but if you want to go buy some, you can. So what you're going to do is I'm going to make this a long line, which indicates or shows or looks like the opening part of the mouth. And notice that I did not pull it real tight, because when you do, it's going to bunch up, and we don't want it to bunch up. Okay. Now at this back side, I'm going to go just make little darts up and down to kind of look like the separation of teeth. And notice that I didn't go around the edges, because when I put it on the face, we're going to we're going to sew it on with the black thread, so we're going to go kind of all the way around it, unlike the eyes. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but mine definitely isn't right now. That was a little crooked tooth. If you decide later on you don't want teeth because it doesn't look like teeth, then use the red or use the black and just make a smile. Whatever you want, however you want to do. And maybe I don't like that. What I'm gonna do with this instead is I'm going to
The world's on fire. You think all is forgiven? I'm not looking for forgiveness, and I'm way past asking permission. Earth just lost her best defender, so we're here to fight. If you want to stand in our way, we'll fight you too. Listen, I love you. That's a court martial. Great to see you. You too, buddy. You guys really look like crap. Must have been a rough couple of years. Yeah, well, the hotels weren't exactly 5-star. I think you look great. Yeah, I'm back.
Hi, Bruce.
That. This is all. So we gotta assume they're coming back.
And they declared you find us.
We need all hands on deck. Where's Clint?
After the whole work situation, he and Scott took a deal. It's too tough on their families on house arrest.
Who's Scott? There's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man? Okay, look. Thanos has the biggest army in the universe, and he is not gonna stop it. He gets Vision Stone.
Well, then we have to protect
prove its own signature facts. It's molecular.
Do we like that?
Yeah, too.
Doesn't look too bad, does it?
I'm not having this conversation.
Eliminating the stone is the only way to be certain of Bella's copy.
That's too high a price.
Only you have
Okay.
Thank me. Now, go ahead. I'm listening. For what? Really blasting me in the face?
Who just shaved your magical ass? Me.
I seriously don't know how you fit your head into that helmet.
Admit it. Should have ducked up when I told you to. I tried to bend you, you refused.
I'm like everyone else in your life. I don't work.
And due to that fact,
As long as it doesn't get picked at, it should be fine.
Under no circumstances can we
Okay.
tie something down.
Now we have that part finished. If you want to put like the whites in the eye or black in the middle of the eye, you can do that. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it just like this. Now we'll take our loop, and we're going to dart it. That's too big. We don't want it real big. We're going to dart it right there. So we'll take your yellow thread. We're not going to sew it on there to hold or to stay. We're just going to sew it on there to hold it, so that when we start sewing the two circles together, it doesn't move. And we don't want to waste a lot of yellow thread. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and we're going to sew this together. In a circular motion. So we're going to kind of go around the edges, and this will help cover that ink, which I actually should have turned that circle over so you wouldn't see the ink. And I'm using a single thread, so that way I don't use as much thread. If you have more thread, you can do a double thread, and it makes it a lot thicker and does a lot more coverage.
That same will as you fought by my side, daughter.
I'm not your daughter. Everything I hate about myself, you don't.
Then in doing so, made you the fiercest woman in the galaxy.
Okay, so when you get your pocket almost sewn up, what you're going to do is you're going to take your batting and you're going to stuff it inside to make it like a little pillow. And make sure that you get it in there all even and as much in there as you want. You don't have to put a lot of stuffing, but if you want to, you can. And then when you get as much stuffing in there as you want, what you're going to do is you're going to finish sewing it up. Make sure it's good and tight. Here toward the end, I am starting to do double thread. It wasn't on purpose, but we're almost to the end, so it's okay. Just if you do double thread, just make sure that the thread, both strings of thread are tight. Okay, so this part right here, you're gonna have to go back and forth and dart it so that way it doesn't come apart. And you may go back and forth a couple of times. Just to make sure that it's completely sewn together, because you don't want it to come apart. When you get it completely done, we're going to loop it one more time and tie it off. Put that through there. And I'm going to tie it. I'm going to do it again. And tie it. And then we're going to take our scissors, which I don't know where my scissors are, so I'm going to take these and clip it. All right, and there you have your smiley face keychain piece. Now to put it on the key ring, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the key ring and slide it on there. Now, would have been easier if I, hang on. Too, if you wanted to have sewn your loop onto your keychain or your key ring, you could have done that as well, but slide that on there. Now you have it on there like so. And then we're gonna put our claw clip on there. And there you have your emoji keychain. Let me know how you did, and let's see if you can nail it. See you next week. Bye-bye.